I'm meeting Charles Martel, maker of Britain's whiffiest cheese.
Oh, Charles, I can smell it.
Stinking Bishop isn't like strong-smelling blue cheese where you can see the mould, so what makes it smell? I want Charles to reveal his stinky secret.
Are you happy to share how you make it?
Yes.
Brilliant.
I'll have to kill you. Death by smell.
The milk is heated in huge vats and then a bacterial starter culture is added. Aha, bacteria. Is this what makes it pong?
No.
No?
This just makes it into good cheese.
Stir that bacteria in.
In fact, it's used in all cheese making. It raises the acidity of the milk ready for setting.
Should we give her a job?
Next, rennet is added, an enzyme which solidifies the milk into curds and whey.
Oh, it looks like cottage cheese.
It is cottage cheese.
The curds are pressed into rounds, squeezing out the whey and left to set. But does it stink yet?
Smells of milk.
Next, the cheese is salted to preserve and flavour it. And then it's off to the maturing room.
Charles, I'm getting the stink. The stink is in here.
This is it. This is where it happens.
What's all this pink stuff?
Well, that's it. That's what smells. Tiny, tiny little bacteria, all giving off that colour and that dreadful smell.
So how and why do our brains overcome the natural aversion to a bad smell? To find out, I'm crashing a cheese and wine do in Norwich with olfactionary expert Professor Carl Philpott.
It
Many
is
cheeses.
fruity in here. Honestly, I can smell it down the
Yeah,
street.
some good stuff here on the plate.
Yeah, look at that. Really, I ought to define that as disgusting. However, I still want to put it in my mouth. Why is that?
Well, should we go and find out?
Right, let's go.
Carl asks our cheese connoisseurs what they make of our foul-smelling selection before they try it.
It is a sweaty, kind of unpleasant smell.
You know, you've been on your feet all day and then you take your shoes off and then you take your socks and that's what it smells of.
Next, our guinea pigs chow down on the cheese while wearing a fetching nose clip to knock out the pong.
All you really get is salt and that wonderful melting creamy texture.
It doesn't taste of anything.
But will they like the cheese more when they can experience both the smell and the taste together?
Now they are circulating through the back of the mouth into the nose.
And it goes, and it comes back.
That's right.
It feels like it's come back.
You're essentially breathing out through your nose with the smell.
You better believe it! Our taste testers loved the cheese only when they could both taste it and smell the stink. But why?
Smell is a hazard warning signal for us, and it's one of the basic sort of defences against ingesting something that's going to be harmful to you. But with experience, we learned that actually a stinky smell is followed by a fantastic sensation of the flavour combination that happens when you put food inside the mouth.
Once we've tried stinky cheese and the body realises it's not a dairy killer, this happens. The aromas of the food travel up the back of our mouth into our nasal cavity, reaching the smell receptors, a process called retronasal olfaction. This way we get a double whammy of delicious flavour on the tongue and in the nose.
When you combine the two, that is when the magic happens.
Absolutely.
Vegetable crisps, do they count as one of your 5 a day? Anyone know? No. Don't find out. Hoping for all the hacks to crack 5 a day, I've come to Basildon to meet dietitian Joe Travers. Joe, how are you?
Hi, Matt. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
So, Joe, listen, new year, people trying to sort of get healthy. Talk me through this 5 a day.
So every single process that happens in your body needs at least one vitamin or mineral for that process to happen.
Okay.
So if you need to make a skin cell, you need vitamin C. And that goes for every process going on in your body.
So, Joe, who came up with this magical 5?
It's set out by Public Health England, and it's based on evidence by the World Health Organization that have shown that 400 grams of fruit and vegetables every day is a good amount for people to have in order to keep us healthy. Whatever you can fit in your cupped hand is a portion.
A cupped hand?
Yeah, so that's fruit or vegetables.
Right.
Yeah.
How does a
And
banana
so-
sit like that? Is that...
Well, you can imagine it chopped up.
Got it. And do all 5 of the portions need to be fresh produce? Frozen veg.
definitely counts because frozen veg is generally picked and frozen straight away, and it has a lot of nutrients locked in there when it gets frozen.
And finally, why is it that some foods that are packed with fruit and veg, like apple pie or vegetable crisps, don't come with a 5-a-day label on?
What about these vegetable crisps?
They do not count. And
Why don't they count? They're vegetables.
they are vegetables, but once you add all of the salt and the oil to it, they stop being as beneficial. So they don't count towards your 5-a-day, sorry. Same as with other crisps.
Now, I'm heading to a crisp manufacturer in Kent that claims to be doing things differently. I'm meeting the founder here at NIMS, Nimisha Raja.
Hello.
Matt,
Matt.
good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Now, you make healthy crisps here?
We do.
We Brits munch down a colossal 6 billion packets of delicious deep-fried salty potato slices a year.
This is a ton of fresh beetroot, British grown.
Wow.
So from there it's going into here, getting washed.
Yeah, hardly what I had in mind. Is beetroot in crisps all kinds of wrong, or could it be right?
Now we need to put it from here into the slicer.
Okay.
Slowly pour it into there.
In here?
Yep. Yep, lovely.
Okay.
So you can see here, sliced.
All right. So why do you keep the skin on then?
There's a huge amount of fibre in the skin, so much healthier for you.
Right.
Try it. Go on.
They're quite thick, aren't they?
Well, you'll see what happens once they're made into crisps. You'll see.
Next, the mysterious method that apparently transforms a load of raw veg into crisps.
Right, so this is going up into a big fryer, is it?
Not quite the fryer. We don't fry our crisps.
Lead away. I'm intrigued.
This is an air drying machine. What's in there is hot air. No hot oil, no seasoning, no nothing,
Really?
just air.
So there's no salt, there's no added sugar,
No.
there's no preservatives?
Absolutely nothing. So
Really?
there's only one ingredient that goes in,
Right.
which is the beetroot. Come, I'll show you
Yeah.
where it comes out.
Right.
So there you go.
OK, well, they look like crisps.
Yeah, try some.
I mean, you can see how much they've shriveled. Because
Yeah,
I
actually,
was
you could
sceptical
get
when I saw how thick they
Yeah.
were.
As these crisps have no unhealthy added ingredients, they qualify as one of our 5-a-day.
Really concentrated beetroot, all right?
Do you like beetroot again?
I do like beetroot, but it's a good job.
Yeah.
Because that is a real kick of beetroot,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's quite a revelation that that is essentially one of our 5-a-day. Right there.
Indeed.
Brilliant.
There you go.
However, if your fruit and vegetable intake is lacking, you could do a lot worse than virtuous veggie crisps.
It's cold down here. Yeah. Are you freezing? Not quite, but nearly. And there's one for you. Ah, look. So what we're taking it, 1, 2, 3, approximately 5 years old. And we can see the rings.
I've been cooking with scallops for years, but I never realised I could tell the age of one just by counting the rings on the shell.
So much life down here.
Although hand-picking is a more expensive way to collect scallops, the Norwegians believe the environmental benefits are well worth it.
So this is the ideal picture of a good seabed. Yeah, with dredging it will be no seaweed or nothing here now. Now we have, I don't know, about 60, 70 scallops. So we will take this bag and inflate it. So it goes to the surface. It's good to go, let it go.
All done, but Knud's got another job for me. He doesn't just harvest these little chaps for market, he's also part of a team dedicated to increasing the population.
Yeah, they are 12 months.
12 months old, OK. And when's the next time you're going to see these then?
4 or 5 years.
You can leave them alone until that point in time. What shall I do then? Scientifically lob them over?
Yes.
The baby scallops will remain down on the ocean bed until they reach maturity.
They are quite happy.
Yeah, look at that.
And finally, after all that hard work, it's time to taste the freshest scallop ever.
So you're quite spoiled, so I guess you try scallops like this frequently, this fresh.
Yes, I like them fresh.
We very rarely, even in the best restaurants, they're probably a couple of days old before. God.
And now I'm meeting Dr. Turolf Magnussen. He's in charge of Norway's only commercial scallop hatchery.
You must be Matt.
I am. How are you?
This is Turolf.
Nice to meet you.
So there's no one better qualified to finally answer my scallop anatomy query.
This is the Pacton maximus, the king scallop. So the interesting thing is that these animals are both male and female.
Hermaphrodites?
Yes, they are. And you can see here you have the gonad.
Right.
And you have the red part of the gonad, which is the female part. And you have the white part, which is the male part.
Scallops may be hermaphrodites, but they don't breed with themselves. The orange part of the dangly bit is female, and the white is male. Sperm is created here and released through an opening in the kidney. Later, eggs are created here and released through the same opening, and out into the open water where they mix with sperm from other scallops. This evolutionary trick is to prevent inbreeding.
Okay, so these are the scallops that have been taken out of the ocean, brought here, and this is your breeding stock.
Yes.
Dr. Magnusson only wants top scallops for breeding, so huge gonads are a priority, and these conditions are perfect. Each hermaphrodite scallop will first create sperm, and then the same scallop will later release eggs.
Here are all the scallops.
Okay.
You can see they are sperming. Here's a lot of sperm. The white stuff in the water.
Yeah.
And here's one with egg. You see the red color. Today we've got about 150 million.
Wow.
But when we have the eggs here in the bucket, we need to fertilize. So you take a little bit of sperm from 3 different animals.
Okay.
Each Tuesday, Dr. Turov attempts to fertilize 200 million eggs to ensure there's a continuous supply of this much revered delicacy.
A small splash. So now you're the godfather of 10 million scallops.